love talking about Star Wars.
And
Wait,
Raw.
really? Since when?
People talk about Star Wars.
I also not on the internet.
You're confusing
Not
that
guys
with
our age.
Battlestar Galactica, right?
Is there
Must be thinking of Star Tours.
Oh yeah, whatever that
the
is.
ride.
The ride.
Is there a Battlestar Galactica movie?
Is
Yes.
This is an honest question.
I mean, probably.
Didn't
Is it a made-for-TV movie? Probably.
I was gonna say, didn't they do like a spin-off movie after
Yeah,
the
MacGyver
show,
in it?
like Caprica?
Yeah.
Why haven't they made a movie called Cuck Rogers? Instead of Buck Rogers, it's Cuck Rogers.
No, we got that.
Okay, I just
yeah.
because at first I was like, wait, do they know?
It's not a reference people understand
They know
anymore.
who Buck Rogers
Jesse,
is, right?
I think I can give you a lot of reasons they haven't made a movie called Cuck Rogers.
We
Like,
could talk
one,
about Star
I don't know
Wars.
if
We could
there's-
do a Battlestar Galactica movie. Did they make a Battlestar Galactica movie? How come they haven't made Cuck Rogers? Like, that was an
That's
interesting
logical
leap.
step.
Beer,
I think that-
2550. This
I'm
man,
pretty
a cuck. Like in space.
Well, I heard they're bringing Buck Rogers back. I figure Wood Rocket needs to, come out with Cuck Rogers.
Why haven't they made a movie called Cuck Cumble?
Wait, did you say Cuck Cumble?
I mean,
Yeah, the porno version of Buck Bumble.
I want to hear the
the video game porn parody
Cuck Cumble.
community, as vast as it is screaming for the reference to Buck Bumble.
Cuck Cumble, it's right there.
Sells itself.
You know what
Right about now,
sounds
it's time to rock with a Kiggity Cuck Cumble.
Oh my
Duh!
god.
Bump to the bump to the bump to the bass.
That needs to be part of a free play jingle.
Oh, we should really be recording, but we're not.
Fuck.
Oh well, people are missing Oops All Slits and Cuck Cumble.
Oops, all slits.
Wait.
Oh
Yeah, no,
wait,
they-
we can make a Cuck Cumble shirt. All right, we want you to draw 3 bees. 1 bee is a husband looking on as one bigger bee does the queen bee, but he looks like the
Yeah, now I mean, really, honestly, cucking in beehive culture really brings up an interesting, like, I don't know, hierarchy. Like, how does it work? Can bees be cucked?
I think bees are already cucks, right? Because like aren't
They're
there like
all
a lot?
cucks.
Yeah, there's like
Oops, all
everyone's
cucks.
Oops, all cuck.
everyone's a cuck to the queen. The queen bee.
The queen cucks everyone
Yeah,
I have
with herself.
the
I
cuck
have
queen
2
bee.
questions. Now,
Only
the
2.
husband bee, is he upset or is he enjoying it? And the second question, is his stinger in a chastity cage?
Well, if he's proper cuck, he's probably enjoying it.
Just
Okay.
imagine that if, like, somewhere undiscovered in like bee behavior. So we got the queen bee, and then you got all the other bees that service her. But then there's also one bee in there that thinks it's married to the queen bee, the cuck bee.
I
But
wish we-
he's just being cucked constantly. Like, it's the little bee in like a tie that keeps coming home. And,
Somewhere out there, somebody is working on their PhD in bee sexuality,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
and,
I
and,
love the
and they're
idea
gonna
of-
discover the cuck bee.
Some beekeeper opening up the hive. It's like, come, the mating is about to start, and there's just a bed and then like a little honeycomb chair just to the side of it, and a bee kind
Yeah.
of like slowly shambles over and sits.
Right. There's one little shameful bee just like stroking his flaccid stinger.
I can come once and then I die.
Not going to use it up on my wife.
Yeah. I want to watch some other dude die inside of her.
Oh God!
This isn't how bees work.
That's the secret. The bee isn't actually a cuck. He's like a psychopath that gets off on others dying. So instead of killing other bees, he just lets other bees fuck the queen and die, and that's how he gets off.
Mm-hmm.
We really
Somehow-
need.
Hustler.
Somehow
really
this
need-
took a dark turn for bee cucking.
Point is, Cuck Cumble shirt coming soon to the shop page.
We really
we
need
need
Jerry
to-
Seinfeld's take on this.
Oh man, yeah,
What's
Seinfeld.
the
you were-
deal with bee cucking?
What's the deal with these teenage bees?
Who are these bees?
What's the deal with bringing home your teenage bee girlfriend to meet your adult parents? Jerry Seinfeld date teenagers. It's fucking weird.
It reminds me of, I saw I forget how it was, some meme.
What's
but
the deal with grooming these bees?
It's a graph of Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriends, and like you see, as soon as they hit
We really
25,
broke
he gets a
Johnny.
new one, and they're like 19, like
Yeah.
every single time.
Johnny, you okay, man?
This is the idea of Jerry Seinfeld grooming bees. Like,
That's it. We figured it out. Jerry Seinfeld is the cuck bee. He gets off on bees fucking the queen.
okay, let's start the show.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, this is where we're at pre-recording. Oh God,
This is gonna be
All
a
right.
great show.
How
Where
strong
are we
did you make
going?
that drink, Sean?
man, I haven't had a drink in like 3 weeks because I've been doing a really strict diet, and the last couple of days have derailed that diet by choice. I'm going back on the diet tomorrow, but I'm like, well, I'm already deep in the derailed diet. I better pour myself a fucking stiff one tonight. And yeah, I'm gonna get all fucked up, guys, on not only alcohol but also sugar. I haven't had fucking sugar in weeks.
Oh Jesus, drunk and drunk guy.
Ah! Need some honey.
All right, who's ready for a countdown?
I'm
Guys,
so ready.
John.
I'm here, baby.
All right, 5,
Baby.
3, 2, 1. Cucks.
Doesn't even start the show.
It helps if you
Jesus
start the
Oh
Christ.
shit!
really?
Yeah. Johnny getting cucked by his own setup.
All right, give me a second. Are we stopping recording or just still recording?
I'm
No,
still
we're still
recording.
going.
Okay,
recording.
okay. Whoops! I forgot to connect the soundboard up.
How
Okay,
many
here we go.
episodes is this?
Here we go. 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Game That Tune.
Kill the fucking mood. Oh, yeah. What is going on, everybody? It is Game That Tune, and we are back in the house once again. It's your boy, John Harrington here. We got John Regan with us. Say hey.
Hey.
We've got David Fleming. Say hey.
Hey,
And we've got the Game That Tune champion, Jesse Moore. Say hey.
Hey,
Hell yeah, fellas. Welcome back. Game That Tune, episode 238 in the house. And man, oh man, we got a great show coming up for you tonight, guys. If you're just joining us, what we're going to do here is listen to some video game tunes. We've each brought 3 songs from a game. We're going to try and guess each other's games based on the songs with a little bit of trivia. We're going to goof off. We're going to have a lot of fun. The winner at the end of the night gets to pick the theme for the next episode and play some bonus tunes. And our winner last week was the fantastic David Fleming. And David, you get to tell everybody about the theme for tonight's episode. What do we got?
the theme for tonight's episode is role-playing games,
Oh,
or
okay.
colloquially, RPGs.
Yes, see, thank you. Because you're avoiding all of last week's rocket launcher references right off the bat by saying role-playing games. I'm a little disappointed. I really was going to continue that joke, David. What else could RPG stand for besides role-playing game?
it could stand for like Capcom versus Tatsunoko because you can play as role.
Right. That's the same bad joke you made last week. Still
Yeah.
beating that drum, baby.
Well, I figured
Um,
you were beating a drum. I was going to beat mine back.
Oh, my next beat was going to be what else could role-playing game stand for? Jesse, what does
Oh, I
RPG
see.
stand for?
Oh, Katamari Damacy.
See, that's all. Oh, fuck, that's good. That's
Because you
another-
roll the fucking ball and shit.
You roll while you're playing a game.
Yeah. So
It could be
that-
any game that you play while on ecstasy.
Are there any? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Could
Could
it? Yeah. Oh man. No, I mean any game you enjoy while eating a barbecue sandwich. I don't know.
Hey, so is a
waiting.
Madden are Madden games role playing games at this point? Because you can create your character, level up your stats.
Honestly.
The newer Madden games have a fucking weird ass story mode. I
Yeah,
mean,
oh,
so isn't it kind of like a role playing game? You're playing as some jacked up athlete.
I mean, honestly, like, you know, I haven't played Madden in a long time, but like FIFA, that is all in there. And it took me a while to realize, like, I'm playing FIFA like a role playing game right now. Like, I'm doing literal drills. I'm not just playing the World Cup as a character with vaguely my face. I'm practicing as my character and like beefing up my own stats. I'm like, motherfucker, they got me. They got me good. They got me doing the practice. They got me practicing and buffing up those stats. The role-playing games have infiltrated all games.
God,
So-
I would
Maybe not all games, but
I
I
would
can
love
only imagine.
I would love a role playing game where the random encounter is an entire football game.
Hell yeah. The random encounter, you encounter a fucking European soccer match. Like, wow, there's 150,000 people here.
I just wanted to clarify that it was role-playing games instead of RPGs because I really, really didn't want Johnny to bring double dribbles saying, rebounds per game.
Ooh, see,
Wow.
yeah, that is
You're
something. Yeah,
Bold.
that's bold of you to think that Johnny would know the abbreviation
Basketball.
for a basketball statistic.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea that Johnny would think that double dribble as a basketball game would feature you rolling a ball and therefore bring it. Like
Bowling.
yeah, exactly. Bowling makes sense, but yeah, basketball would be right up Johnny's alley. Like, yeah, you could roll the ball into the net, right? As far as Johnny knows.
Okay, John, give me some credit, all right? I know in basketball, you've got to hit it with the stick into the net. You can't just roll into the net.
Exactly. Yeah. But I still don't understand, Johnny, why they don't call it basketball. There's two baskets. Why is it only one basket for one? Two baskets for one ball. Why is it called basketball? It should be called basketball.
Two
Just
baskets,
the
one
right
ball
spot.
is a really gross video that I've seen.
Oh yeah. God damn.
Game
Anyway,
one.
so the game tonight is role-playing games. So we've got some fantastic tunes coming up, I'm sure, and I think we got a blast coming. So Johnny, let's start it, man. Roll the dice and see what comes up.
Oh,
for,
gambling games.
Fucking just tabletop RPGs. What about it?
Yeah.
20 signs on that die.
Well, that counts because it is a role playing game.
Yeah, I know, but it's a double points thing, man.
Oh, double points. Okay.
Yeah.
Game 1.
All right. In this game, one of the boss fights carries a whole bunch of swords. Each of the swords are all weapons from past games in the series. All right, how you guys feeling with the softball?
I'm feeling pretty good.
We have very different definitions of softball.
Oh,
Of course, but of course, it's a softball.
I mean, it's me.
I feel like I'm right on a technicality.
Oh man, what the? Okay, so Johnny has a dick, and John says Sword Art Online. Oh, that's and David. Okay, I guess he's kind of right. Final Fantasy, whichever one we haven't used, which is
Now, hold
Final
on. There's a
Fantasy
couple
12.
we haven't used.
Final Fantasy 12 is this one.
It's that one.
Yep.
I was going to say, if we're getting down to games that we haven't used Final Fantasy 12 and we haven't used Final Fantasy 15 for sure. But I know it's not 15. So if you give me a 50-50 shot, I can guess that it's Final Fantasy 12. Fuck! I've played this game. I should.
I've played this
been
game
a minute,
too.
Oh, really?
Wait, what?
Yeah. There was a brief period where I got very into PS2 piracy, and I got this game just because I could, and actually played a good amount of it. I got stuck pretty early on in the game, though, and couldn't get past the level, and just kind of gave up.
Wow.
Damn, John, that's really. I have no words. So this is the only RPG you've ever played.
Yeah.
What?
Who knew?
I can't wait for either the next free play jingle or like something to just have that clip of like, I've played this game too. What?
I mean, honestly, like
Shocking.
yeah, it's truly shocking. Like Johnny RPGs, no. Johnny Final Fantasy, no. Like nothing about that adds up at all.
Johnny
Though
PS2,
I guess
and it's not Guitar Hero. No,
right. I was gonna that the only thing I've ever seen you play on PS2 is Guitar Hero. So no.
Well, once,
But
once
this
you
is
said-
one of the least Final Fantasies of all time. So I could see Johnny being like, "Oh well, sure, I can hop in on that." Like, it's not it's not the traditional just window battle system. So like maybe you give it a shot, and then
Yeah.
obviously you get stuck and never play it again. But
yeah, I enjoyed that real-time battle system concept. That was pretty cool.
it was.
Yeah, because I remember that was a oh, I think I was still playing my headphone. Shit. Okay, now I can hear things.
No one was saying anything.
I have my own voice mic'd back into my headphones. Like,
I can't hear your silence.
I couldn't hear my own voice.
Uh,
Oh boy.
anyway, so deafening silence aside, you like the real-time battle system.
Yeah, and I was very big into I had the PS2 hard drive adapter, and I figured out how to soft mod my PS2 with Free McBoot, and I had that whole thing where you could like load ISO files over the network, so I didn't even have to like burn DVDs. It was amazing. Oh my god. And so yeah, I was just getting like any new PS2 game, I just got it and just put on the hard drive and played it.
There were
pretty dope.
so many games I didn't play, but I had them.
Right. I mean, God, like with fucking PS2, like that's likely. There are only a few thousand games to choose from. So I'm impressed that Johnny, in your travels, you decided to try Final Fantasy 12 out of all the games you could have downloaded and tried. Well, that's cool, John. I'm glad to know that you played it. Jesse, I saw you shaking your head when I said this was one of the least Final Fantasies of all time. You got thoughts on that Gambit system?
I thought it was pretty cool. Like,
I love it. This is one of the only Final Fantasies I've played to completion.
like if you think about it, because I've been playing around with it because it's on Game Pass, of course, and it reminds me of Final Fantasy VII Remake. How you're controlling the main character and the other characters are pretty much doing their thing, and the only thing is in this game you're kind of programming them to do certain things.
Loved it.
And you can still switch between them and give them proper commands and stuff. So if you think about it, this is kind of like the proto system of Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about that, but that explains why I kind of like Final Fantasy VII Remake. It was getting back to the that Final Fantasy 12 a little bit more active battle system. I liked it a lot because I did like that. You could literally just like prioritize the list of things that people would do in battle, and and it's like, okay, well, I don't. Sorry, let me say that without burping. Okay, well, I don't know why this guy's fucking taking so long to heal me up, so let me just switch over to him and make him do that. Okay, now,
Yep.
back to business. Like, it was good for like active and also a little passive, but then some impatience. Like,
Yeah.
no, stop healing. I'm gonna need you to shoot the gun. Shoot this motherfucker right now. You got the final thing. Do this. It was cool, man. I haven't played it in years, but I really did like this one a lot.
It's also kind of like Star Wars. The
A
plot.
little bit Star Wars. I could see that.
So.
I keep
Explain.
forgetting that Final Fantasy went in like a scientific cyberpunk somewhat direction, because I always think of like Final Fantasy being, the knights and the mages. And
Well,
they're
that's
like,
what this one is.
once he pulls out the gun, it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, but I mean, there were even then there was
It's like a
almost
magic
always
musket thing.
there was almost always an airship involved. So
Yeah.
like, at some point it went sci-fi. Yeah. Pretty early on, at least. Yeah, actually, I can't speak to those early games. Jesse, when did the airship first show up?
Final Fantasy 1.
Okay, yeah, cool. So pretty early on. Yeah, this game, man. So you're playing? It's what, Zodiac Age that's on?
Yes.
on Game Pass. So did you
Yeah.
play the original and now you're playing Zodiac Age?
Yeah, I
Do you-
did. I almost
you-
beat the original,
Oh, okay.
but I got stuck. I fucked myself over. I saved in a spot right before you fight Sid, and like
Hate that about old games.
and I couldn't really grind to like level up, so I just had to keep trying, and I just wasn't more powerful enough to beat him.
That's
And like my last save was like 10 hours, and
cool.
so I was like, I'm not going back,
I liked it, man. This
But-
was one of the first games that I looked up a way to like manipulate it. That because see, that was the beauty of the active battle system to me. You could set those gambits in a way, and it was a bit like the Ronco rotisserie. You could set it and forget
and forget it.
fucking I was playing this when I first was out of high school. I was living over in Gainesville with my buddies, and we had it, and we each had our own saves going. And so I looked up like just how to do some quick leveling, and someone had figured out there's an area, some tomb or something, where these ghosts you can fight them, and as they get to a certain low health, they'll spawn another one and another one
Oh
and
wow.
another one. And you can set your party to gambit in a certain way that you'll fight these things forever if you so desire.
Wow.
And so I did that. And it made the game very easy after that, because I came home from a night at work and my game had been playing itself for about 8 hours.
Holy
and
shit.
I whooped the game's ass after that. It was fucking dope. Like,
That
I got
sounds
to the final
amazing.
boss, and fucking Michael, he's like, dude, you really didn't need to do that. I'm like, yeah, but I needed to be sure. I wanted to make sure that I was gonna whoop this guy's ass. Like,
Okay,
and
so
whoop
like this,
it good.
this boss is level 53. I'm level 50. I should be okay, but just to be certain, I want to be level 86.
Pretty much. That was exactly how it went. Like, it was a shitty move on my part, but look that up if you're thinking like, I'm a little stuck in Final Fantasy 12. Look up the infinite looping ghost fight and just level up a few characters while you're at work. It's awesome. Because the game's cool. I don't remember the story all that well.
It's
but
Star Wars.
Okay, yeah.
So
I mean,
is the
Okay.
bunny woman Chewbacca?
that was my
basically,
question, because
yeah.
Balthier
Okay.
is Han Solo, so
Yeah.
Fran is Chewbacca, which
right.
so that puts Fran at the top of the list of most fuckable Chewbacca proxies of all time.
Yeah, I'd let that Wookiee win. What do you?
I'm
you
saying,
know what I mean?
oh man, let the bunny woman win, baby.
She can rip my arms out of my socket if you know what I mean.
You can call me Captain Bosch anytime.
I'm not arguing with her being a fuckable Chewbacca proxy. I'm just curious, how long is that list of Chewbacca proxies?
Let's see.
So
There's
far-
Harry and the Hendersons.
Exactly. Okay, so yeah, she
I was gonna say,
beat
there's
out Harry
There's Fran.
definitively.
Oh, there's the dog from Spaceballs.
I was gonna say there's Fran, there's Barf from Spaceballs, and what else we got?
Hmm.
I mean, we could really flesh this out if we had time. I'm sure.
I mean, just let's think of like, kind of big, kind of lumbering sidekick type characters to a more dashing, talkative character. I mean,
fucking
Sully
Chris
from
Farley and
Monsters,
Tommy
Inc.
Boy.
yes. So Chris Farley and Tommy Boy, definitely. Sully and Monsters Inc. is valid. Bullwinkle.
Ooh.
Yes. Bullwinkle, one of the least fuckable Chewbacca proxies of all time.
Oh, that's not very nice.
You know, I
Um,
want to sit here and argue as like Rocky isn't a Han Solo, but no, that tracks.
Fuck it, why not?
Would Piglet or Tigger be the Chewbacca?
Mm.
Because I feel
See,
like
that-
Pooh hangs out with Piglet more.
Well, and see, one of the things that I feel like also defines Chewbacca, and I'm trying to say this without sounding somewhat offensive, but is his otherness, his foreignness, his inability to be understood by anybody except his friend. So, like, you got your Harry, you got your Chewbacca. Fran in Final Fantasy 12 even skirts that line because she's like from the weird bunny race and doesn't, speak English all that well. So, like, I don't know, man. All the characters in Winnie the Pooh converse just fine. So,
Oh, maybe it's more of a Christopher Robin is Han Solo and Pooh is Chewbacca.
I can see it.
Because
Little
essentially,
Also, like,
they can only talk to each other, you know.
That's right.
I mean, in order
Fuck it.
for
I'm
you
sorry,
to,
David. Ultimate Chewbacca. Hobbs.
truth.
Yes.
Fucking,
Yeah.
Calvin and Hobbes. There's no cartoon to speak of for that, but yes,
For
Hobbs,
half a
the
second,
ultimate
I thought
Chewbacca.
you meant from Hobbs and Shaw. And I
From
was
Hobbs
like,
and Shaw, yes. Dwayne the Rock
"What the
Johnson.
I'm out.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't know that Winnie the Pooh has a Chewbacca because I don't know that Winnie the Pooh has a Han Solo. Like, who is the dashing rogue in Winnie
Christopher
the
Robin.
Pooh?
Christopher Robin.
Eeyore.
I
Owl.
I mean,
Probably Owl.
I honestly could not imagine like a young English schoolboy in the Han Solo role. Like, no, that doesn't fit.
No, not yet. But maybe once he's played by Ewan McGregor, am I right?
But in the Pooniverse, he's
Yeah, exactly. You go into that Pooh-verse.
Yeah, okay, no, the Pooniverse sounds like some kind of interconnected series of pornos.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jesse. No, the new way of saying multiverse involving a certain thing is just that thing dash verse, not niverse. So it's not
okay.
Pooniverse, it's Pooverse.
Well, I figured we could, get some traffic based on wrong, intentions.
Oh, God,
This isn't what I wanted, but I do
I'm
like Winnie
looking
the
at-
Pooh.
Yeah, I can stick around for a minute.
I'm looking at Pooniverse. All right. Oh, it's four guys talking on the internet. I don't want this. They're talking about which Chewbacca is most fuckable. All right, now I'm interested.
Yeah, I'm back in, baby. But yeah, Final Fantasy 12, man, I had a lot of fun with that one. I feel like I didn't play the online one, so I can't speak to this a whole lot, but I feel like it incorporated like the hunter stuff pretty well. Like you go out on side missions.
Yeah,
and
that
things
was
like
fun.
that.
I like bounty hunting or whatever.
Yeah, that was dope. Like just go to the bounty board and go out and fight some monsters. How do you feel about Vaughn as your main character though?
I thought he was okay. He always reminded me of Aladdin for some reason. Like the way he's dressed, he's kind of a street rat,
Yep. Okay. No, that adds up, man. This
He
is
has a
sci-fi Star
dagger,
Wars, Aladdin, and Final Fantasy world. This
Yeah.
it's all coming together. It's a rich
Checks
tableau.
Okay, I must play this game now.
You probably should, David.
Yeah. And it's set in Evilis. It has a very Final Fantasy Tactics feel to it. Like
I
some of the
believe you
sounds.
need to pronounce that a little more like with some oomph. Evilis.
Evilis.
Oh, see, I was thinking it was like
Evilis.
an entire world of bad people of evil us. I was like, that's
Yes,
the most
exactly.
unoriginal name I've ever heard.
No,
Evilis is the other Final Fantasy dimension where things like tactics take place.
yeah.
Hmm.
So it's
And needs to be said somewhat grandiose.
yeah, it's like the game is very like political intrigue, and like I said, it's Star Wars. You're part of like a ragtag group of people that try to bring down an empire. So
Yep. It's dope, man. So I guess in this case, the Empire, I feel like whenever you fight them, they're just like sick ass dudes in giant suits of armor. Like if I'm remembering correctly, I got to play this game again, man. I think I need to get it again. I think I need to bust into that Zodiac Age. Because I'm like, little snippets of memories are coming back to me. I'm like, I just feel like I remember fighting slick ass dudes in big armors. You got to fight the Marquis and little names and things come back to me. I'm like, Final Fantasy VII remake rekindled my love for Final Fantasy, which I didn't previously have. I popped Final Fantasy 15 back in and played a little bit of that, and I'm not 100% back in on that, but maybe I'd get 100% back into Zodiac Age. That might be the way back for me. It's dope fucking game.
yeah, it's
with
good.
a system I know I can manipulate to make the game easy.
Oh yeah.
I like a lot of things about it. And now let me ask you something, Jesse. Who exactly is Captain Bosch von Ronsenberg of Dalmasca?
That
Is it you? Are you Captain Bosch?
No, you're Vaughn.
See, but I hear that he's Captain Bosch von Ronsenberg of Dalmasca.
Huh.
I recall a
Maybe.
part of the game where you have to tell a number of people that you're Captain Bosch von Ronsenberg of Dalmasca.
Maybe it's been a long time since I played it too. I played it when it
Okay,
first came
so
out
you
on
haven't gotten
PS2.
back to that part. That's
No,
what I'm asking.
I haven't got
Okay,
that part.
man, when you do, let me tell you something. I'm Captain Bosch. I'm Captain Bosch. I'm
Oh.
Captain Bosch von Ronsenberg of Dalmasca. I'm Captain Bosch. He might not do the Seinfeld tone when he says it, but it feels like it after a while. You have
He
to go
should.
around pressing a button to declare yourself Captain Bosch von Ronsenberg of Dalmasca.
Isn't that a basketball player?
I think so, man. He's one of those high draft picks, but he still had a contract in the Euro leagues before he came over to the NBA. I could be mistaken him. Is Dirk Nowitzki in this game?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh God! I mean, look up Captain Bosch. Tell me that's not Dirk Nowitzki. Who is? Anyway, man, we could go on and on and on in vague,
About Captain
tangential
Bosch.
ways related to this game. But Jesse, I think we should move on unless there's something else.
No, that's good.
This game fucking rules,
2.
and I'm gonna bring it back when I do Zodiac Age. Mark my words. That was very nice. All right, guys. So, by completing the quests and advancing the story in this game, the player can unlock 5 additional playable characters, while more characters can be obtained in in-game events as well as via a gacha system. Yep, it's very nice. Good tunes. Anybody feeling good? Anybody need additional trivia, anything like that?
I think I got it.
I got to guess.
I think you should. Have a guess. Oh, Johnny says Final Fantasy 15. You're so on the right track, man. Not at all, though. David says Fire Emblem Heroes. That's a very good guess based on the gacha system, but Jesse has the much more correct answer. This is Genshin Impact.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't expect you to pick this.
You been impacted by that Genshin?
I played a little bit of it.
Yeah, so have I. Not much. I kind of got my playtime on this derailed by my son falling off a playground and breaking his arm recently. I was really planning on.
No.
Yeah, man. I was planning on really putting some time in on this the last last night and today, even leading up to the show, because I downloaded it, had a little fun with it. Could tell it was kind of right up my alley. And then my son fell off the playground and broke his arm. So poor kid, man. Prayers up for my man, little Jacob. He's fine now, but he's got a cast all the way up his bicep. Poor miserable 2-year-old with a cast. Anyway, let's talk about Genshin Impact. Not so much the impact that broke my son's arm. Man, Jesse, you played a little of this Genshin Impact?
Yeah, it's for what it is, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. I kind of realized, like, wait a minute. I'm not above playing this. Like, this is dope.
It's free. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
Lots of different characters. And you don't necessarily have to spend real money to buy them.
Right. Okay, you can unlock 5 characters without paying. Dope.
Like the battle system is kind of fun. It's very, you do climb around on a bunch of shit like in Breath of the Wild, and you have a stamina meter. There's this fairy type person that is fascinating and talks to you a lot.
Oh, is there? Okay, so yeah, man, you've touched on a few things I want to talk about. So yeah, this initially when it came out, I'm like, wow, someone just jacked Breath of the Wild and made it into a free-to-play game with gacha things and microtransactions. That sucks ass. Like, what the fuck? And then I realized, like, wait a minute. If that game's fun and I can play it and spend less than, I don't know, $20, $30 on microtransactions, might be worthwhile. Like, if you get out the door on this game for less than the cost of, like, a discount ripoff game, cool, good. Because they take the Breath of the Wild kind of world and put anime characters in it. Like, dope.
Here's the question though, John. Did you get out with only spending $20 or $30, or did you actually spend like $600?
So here's the wild thing. I've played this for I don't know, 3 hours. I've already spent $500. I'm broke, man. I'm bad at this gacha system.
But you got all the characters, though.
Just keep on spinning, and I haven't even gotten to the first town yet, but I have all the characters, and I'm level 500. It's like when I played Final Fantasy 12 and just got overpowered as fuck. Like, it's like I'm looking for ways to manipulate the game, and it seems like this one, you just pump a bunch of money into it.
John, that's not you manipulating the game.
Stock market money, and I pumped it into Genshin Impact.
That's not you manipulating the game. That's the game manipulating you. That's the exact opposite.
Is that? Wait a minute.
Yes.
Are you saying
what it is?
You're saying I should put a quarter in my own ass because I played myself?
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
The game played you.
Oh, wow.
So this game was made in Soviet Russia.
That's right. This is the Yakov Smirnoff version of Breath of the Wild.
Oh God!
I love that it's 2021 and I can still make a Yakov Smirnoff reference.
You said last episode too.
It's us, baby. We're starting that Yakov verse.
I strictly know Yakov from like King of the Hill. I've never actually seen him. Like,
me too, John. Me too. That's how powerful Yakov is. His reputation precedes him. We know him from that King of the Hill episode and from that joke format. It doesn't matter that we've never seen him. Yakov lives on in our hearts and in that stupid joke presentation.
In No One's Home, I I definitely know who Yakov is.
Jesse. Man. Good times. Anyway, yeah, so no, I haven't spent any money yet in Genshin Impact, thank God. It seems really cool though, and that's the thing. I'm like, I finally got over my pretension and downloaded it on my PS4 and started playing. I'm like, yeah, wait a minute, this is cool. Like, yeah, if someone took, yeah, because okay, I'm not the kind of guy that has a whole lot of criticisms towards Breath of the Wild. I love that game; it's a nearly perfect game for me. Blah blah blah. I understand there's some people that feel like maybe the world's a little sparse. Maybe it could use some more enemy encounters. Maybe it needs a little better action. Maybe less weapons breaking, that kind of thing. So if somebody takes it, flips it around and makes their own fucking version of it and puts it out there for everybody to play, and you can, interact with it 99 cents at a time, like, yeah, that's actually that, I'm not above giving that a shot. Like, sounds good. I haven't gotten to the point, like, I was reading about it, and it's like you can do elemental attacks, and like you can do like a burst attack and then your meter recharges, or you can do like a super version of an elemental attack which consumes some kind of currency that might need to be bought with premium currency. I'm like, okay, see, that's a little fucked up right there. So, you better tell me in the tutorial, like, don't use this attack unless you want to spend $1. Like, I'll keep an eye on that meter, you motherfuckers.
Well, it's probably not gonna. As soon as you press the button, you lose money. It's not like
God,
that.
it'd be so funny if you had to connect a bank account to play this. Like,
I mean, it's like our old arcade games. You had to put quarters in to keep playing. So
right. So yeah, you gotta send fucking MiHoYo a voided check, and then you can play Genshin Impact.
Like, Jesse, I understand your point, but it's not like in Super Street Fighter 2, in order to throw a Shinko Hadoken, you have to put in an extra quarter.
Exactly.
That's what the guy at the arcade told me.
Right. Would you like some super meter? That'll be a quarter. Yeah. You do Akuma's fucking ultra, and it's like, die how many deaths? And then you just have to start popping in quarters to get up to 1,000. But yeah, no, like I haven't gotten, obviously, I've only played it for a little while. I haven't gotten to the point where it's even prompted me to like consider spending money, which is cool. But yeah, it's a cool fucking Breath of the Wild ripoff. That's the thing. Like, so you take Breath of the Wild, you throw it in some kind of bland anime like aesthetic. It starts out and you're playing, or it's doing an opening movie, and two twins are attacking some sort of god, and the god captures one of them, and the one that it doesn't capture is the one you've chosen as your character. So the story is about finding your twin and reuniting with them, and you meet this annoying little character that apparently is going to fly around with you and interact with you the whole time. So you're basically a non-speaking character, much like Legend of Zelda, and you got this Paimon fairy character with you. And that's one thing I'll dock at some points for. It's like they looked at Breath of the Wild and were like, we love Zelda and we love this Breath of the Wild, but you know what it could use? Navi. Like, how about a modern talking, super cute little girl version of Navi in Breath of the Wild? And I'm like, wait a minute. Fuck you. No. Like, I don't need that at all. Like, oh no, if there was ever anything I needed, less, it's a little cute anime character that pops out and speaks in the third person and tells you where to go in the game. Go fuck yourself, Paimon.
Episode title.
Seriously, I have no patience for this adorable little anime bitch. I'm so over it, and I've barely been playing the game. Like, oh man, I hope that as the game wears on, she talks less. Because like, when she wants to do a little exposition dump, or like just kind of explain to you how elements work, or tell you that you need to go to the nearby town of Mondstadt to search for blah blah blah, I don't give a fuck. I'm used to playing Zelda. Put that shit in a text box and shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it. And I certainly don't want to hear, Paimon thinks we should go to the next town and search for elemental crystals. Paimon thinks you should attack that slime with an elemental attack. Paimon
I hope it's
thinks
in that exact voice.
I can't do the register that it's in. Like, it's that fucking annoying.
God.
Like, pop up. Paimon thinks you should try a fishing minigame.
So it's basically Elmo as a guide. Is what this
Oh,
sounds
it
like.
is. They took Elmo and mixed it with Navi and put it in Breath of the Wild, and I want to fucking blow its brains out, man. Dude.
I would pay so much money to mod this game so that character's voice is replaced with yours, John. Just to hear
my
like,
God.
hey, fucko, use an elemental attack.
Exactly. Give me 99 cents, bitch face. You want to use that elemental attack? Use the burst attack, dumb shit. Oh, I'm tired of this. Oh. Yeah. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm out of here.
What a weird taping session that was.
Are you okay?
That is not at all what I thought Christina V would look like.
Oh, if I could misrepresent myself as Christina V. Whew, man. Swoon.
You'd be having some fun in the bedroom.
So the game's fun, and I like the character switching. That's the thing. So you're playing as one character, and I guess there's a multiplayer thing where you can play with up to 4 characters at the same time. But when you're playing as one character, you're in these battles, and each character has an element attached to them, and you can just press on the D-pad to switch to the other character real quick. So I can hit something with a fucking water attack, and then it's got a status condition on it. It's wet. And then I can switch over to my ice character and hit it with an ice attack. And then it's not just, it's frozen. It's not just fucking whatever. So there's elemental combos that can be done based on which characters you have in your party. You can switch back and forth. It's a really cool little system. I haven't explored it in depth. I haven't had the time. But honestly, I think it's pretty fun. It might have my attention for a little while because, seriously, take Breath of the Wild and just fan game it and put it in a different world where there's a little bit, more just even the trappings of a story and make it free. Okay, you got me on the hook. And now, like I said, if I can get out for a paltry amount, yeah, fuck it. I can have some fun playing this game. The world's beautiful. Characters are sexy and cool and use elemental attacks, and if I can turn off that Paimon, I'm going to find a way to do it. But this game, honestly, I hate that my initial reaction was scoffing at it. I can't believe they would fucking presume to just rip off Breath of the Wild and give it to everybody for free. And now I'm like, wait a minute, that's fucking genius. And I love Breath of the Wild, don't get me wrong, but if you could start, if all games work this way and just put a $60 cap on how much you could spend in a game, I'd play them all that way. You eventually, maybe to beat the game, have to spend $60. Okay, cool. But you spend a little less, okay, even cooler. I would play all games this way. So we'll just see. We'll see how far I can get in a little Genshin Impact. And I wonder how I could do it on a budget. Because again, it's something. There's
money.
That's the thing. I'm I'm trying to rewire my brain to consider the idea that spending money is okay in this. I have this gorgeous, cool new game, and it was free. And if the game prompts me to spend $10 at some point, I need, it's now hold on, is that going to be a worthwhile $10? How much, fucking elemental attack crystals does that really get me? How many times is that going to, really be worthwhile? That's, something to consider. But I might throw $10 at this a couple of times if it means finishing and really enjoying the game. I'm really trying to rewire my brain around maybe, just maybe, thinking microtransactions are worthwhile. Only when the game starts as free. If I buy a game and then it's got microtransactions, straight to hell. The game, Paimon, the whole business, all in hell. But free game with a few microtransactions, you might have my attention.
And Paimon?
Oh God, fucking Paimon. Guys, you guys all need to download this game. I know, David, it's not out on Switch yet, but Johnny, I need you to fucking download this game. And I need you
It's
we
your
need to
favorite
talk.
PS4.
We need to talk about Paimon. It's on PC. Yeah. A frank and sober conversation needs to be had regarding Paimon and whether or not this character is worth continuing. Like, we're gonna have to contact the company.
Like, you have a spin-off game.
I haven't played it, and I've already determined the answer is no.
See, yeah, you're right. Because my God, man, that's speaking. You nailed it with Elmo. Like,
Elmo
there's some
wants you to aim for the potty.
Now hold on, man. Elmo doesn't teach kids to go to the potty. I have a nearly 3-year-old son. Elmo doesn't have a penis. It's not his business.
I've asked Elmo so many times to teach my son how to go potty, and he refuses.
Exactly, because he's a puppet. There's no penises on them, John.
I'm so glad that you did not finish that with, I have asked Elmo so many times, do you have a penis?
Elmo says you're on a list now.
No. So
anyway,
regarding microtransactions, I'm pretty anti microtransaction. Really, like I get what you're saying about maybe if it's a game that starts as free and you pay as you go.
Free.
And
yeah.
I'm definitely against games that are straight up like pay to win online games, right? Like fuck those.
Yeah.
Those suck.
Right. And see, that's the thing. I think based on this game having characters that you can actually unlock through the progress of the game, it might not just be pay to win. It might be play patiently to win and pay a little extra to get out of it. And I was reading about it also, and see, this is one thing that doesn't actually reassure me. The gacha system is programmed after a certain point to just give you the rare items if you draw too many, like, shitty draws. It has a pity programming system. And I'm like, okay, no. Just,
but
give people good things.
Do you have to pay for each play of the gacha system?
I don't know. I haven't gotten to it yet.
For it?
But you get characters, you can get items, and you can get currency that can be spent on like attack currency or some shit.
Yeah, so you can earn in-game currency by just playing the game,
right?
Or you can spend real money to get more if you want. Like, if you don't want to go grind and play the game, then you can just shell out money to just get crap right then. Yeah. But if you play the game, you can unlock the stuff at a fairly decent pace.
See, my issue with those games is they usually make it so that, like, it used to be to unlock things in games, you'd have to do some grinding, but now they've really upped the grinding and then said, oh, you can, you can pay to skip it, right?
I haven't gotten to the point where I know how bad it is. So, I'll report back in a couple of weeks whether or not I've squandered all my money in this gacha system or I fucking hate this game and have quit playing it. I don't know yet. But so far, it seems charming.
See, I like my system of buying a game and then never actually playing it.
Those days are in the past, Johnny. That's the thing. I'm actually trying to play games I own.
I bought Cyber Shadow the day it came out. I still haven't played that damn game.
That game's fun. You gotta play it.
God damn it, John. Oh yeah. I mean, that describes so many of my game situations of the last, I don't know, 15 years or so. We really, this is the way for me right now to maybe consider starting playing a game. I didn't have to buy it. I had to hit a button to download it, and I'll give it a little bit of time to see if I hate it. That's pretty much it. Like, there's if I hate it, I'm not pot committed. I'm done. If not, I've saved $10. Like, great. I don't know. It's I'm wrapping my head around a new way of thinking on this, so we'll just see. But for now, the game's charming. Free to play Breath of the Wild with anime characters and one really annoying thing. And fantastic sound. That's like, I don't even know if Paimon's a person yet. She floats around and offers advice. I fucking hate her. But so far, gorgeous game with a fun soundtrack and possible value in like maybe a game worth playing for less than premium price. We'll just see. But in the meantime, Johnny, let's keep it going.
Game 3.
Not drunk enough.
So, in this game, it is possible to get a bad ending near the very beginning of the game. After events occur in a location, a character will ask, "Will you accept responsibility for the fate of the land?" If you say no and leave, the screen will turn gray and display the text, "And so the world began drifting towards its fated destruction." So while everybody's getting their answers, I do want to give a special thanks to Silver Nova in our Discord, who requested this game, which was also seconded by Unsaddled Zebra. Johnny, get that hat trick ready, because everyone says Golden Sun. This is Golden Sun.
Oh yeah,
Never heard of
Weird, right? Jesse, I'm not sure if you're being serious or not, because this is kind of like a weird like series that I don't want to say cult classic. But
Jesse
it's-
always speaks from the Smash Brothers universe. He's never heard of it. It's not happening, David. So let me just go ahead and game 4. David,
Whoa.
let me just cut off all your points.
Actually, I
not
do
happening.
I do feel bad because I have never played the original Golden Sun. I've only played Dark Dawn on the DS, and I really want to go back and play this because, I mean, it has been described as one of the best RPGs on the Game Boy Advance, and I feel like I should give this game a shot. Plus, the whole Golden Sun series does this really cool thing with its story where, unlike Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest, where like every game is kind of its own independent story that maybe references other things, but it's their own self-contained narratives. Like all 3 games are one story. Because in Golden Sun, you play as Isaac, and you have run-ins with this like ice wizard, or like every character has adepts, like certain things that they're good at. Isaac is a I
Big
think
hands.
he's a Venus adept, so he's like masters the earth. Isaac,
Masters that Venus, baby.
wait, no, Isaac is
He's adapted with his Venus.
no, I'm sorry. Felix is a Venus. Would you stop making jerking off sounds? It's really thrown me off. No, he is Venus. Whatever. So the point is,
What is he good at, David?
this game you play as Isaac, who can like move the earth and control the earth, and you have like regular run-ins with this anti-hero named Felix. Well, in the second game, you play as Felix, and like you see everything from his perspective, and even fight Isaac at certain points. And then in the third game, you actually play as Matthew, who is the son of Isaac. And like in the beginning of the game, you're talking to Isaac, who's now an old guy with a big beard,
Okay.
and
I
then
thought
go
you were-
off to like save the world.
See, I thought you were going to say in the third game, Isaac and Felix are living together, and it's they're dare I say it, they're a bit of an odd couple.
I got that reference.
Yeah, is it? So it's not that.
No, it's not that.
Yeah,
Um,
Isaac has big hands. Felix has very tiny hands, and they can't agree on whether or not they should smoke cigars inside the house. It's not that kind of game.
No, it's not.
What the hell are you talking about, John? What show is about characters with big heads, small heads, disagreeing about smoking cigars in the house?
I'm trying to mix two different things here, John. So, based on my recollection of The Odd Couple, someone smokes a cigar and like throws it on the ground, and the other guy cleans it up with like the tip of an umbrella. And in Golden Sun, based on what I know of Golden Sun from a Smash Brothers Assist trophy, someone has very large hands.
So no, that ties into one of the unique mechanics, the Jinn, because you can find Jinn, which are basically like genie type creatures.
Oh, it's not a
And then
drinking
you
game.
and then you can unlock them and equip them, and then you gain powers. One of the powers is move, which gives you like giant ethereal genie hands to push objects around the overworld, because this game also has a lot of like overworld excuse me, this game also has a lot of like overworld Zelda-esque exploration puzzles, and then you run into an enemy and bam, you go into the classic turn-based RPG battles. And it sounds really kind of stupid, but I love the battle screen in this game.
Oh no, it
Maybe
looks
that's-
good.
David,
'cause,
that's
like-
ridiculous. What a stupid thing to say.
Well, I mean, it's like such an odd thing to really like, but
No, it's not.
in Final Fantasy games, or classic Final Fantasy games, like one side, it's all very horizontal. Like in Dragon Quest, it's first person view. This
Ugh.
has like an over the shoulder battle angle. So like your team lines up on a diagonal and then the enemy is there. So you have like a weird 3D kind of perspective. It looks really cool. I
It
like it a
does.
lot.
David, let me just tell you, we should know by now, episode 238 of our video game music podcast, nothing is stupid. Like liking something, liking a minute detail is not stupid. We love shit like that.
Yeah.
It's not stupid for you to think that's awesome. If you can describe it and we can get through it without us like clowning on it, it's definitely not stupid.
Well, that's what I always get nervous about, because like, oh, I'm going to describe this because I think it's cool. Like, oh shit, are they going to clown on it?
If it can be related to like penises or 69,
Yeah, I mean,
or,
in a sense, probably
any number of things, maybe. But
yeah,
like
probably,
the point
but
is,
just in
you
the
can
sense
still
that-
express how much you love it. Like,
yeah, if we clown on it, it's because we clown on all the things. I clown
Yeah.
on things I love all the time. Like one of my favorite things to do is watch Back to the Future and clown on it the whole time. Like
what? How absurd!
Yeah, the battle screen is really cool. It's
yeah, that's cool.
it looks it that I remember playing this on GBA, and I liked like you were mentioning the dungeon puzzles and stuff where you use the different magic, because I always thought it was cool. Like not every game does it, but the few RPGs that let you use magic or stuff outside of battles is always like good. Like in like Wild Arms, every character has like a special move. Like the one dude can like fling his rat at stuff, or and in this game, you have the hands that do different things, or I think you might be able to like do like a water spells on like stuff to like make plants grow and
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
There's
it's
a
really
water
cool.
thing. Yeah. And yeah, I agree. I like that you get to use them outside of battle, because most RPGs, when you use some like magic outside of battle, it's heal or teleport, and that's it. Like this, you actually use it to interact with the world, and it's fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that's nice about like one thing about battle screens, that if you think about it, they can really kind of maybe not necessarily make the game, but definitely break the game, right? Because a common problem I had with PS1 era RPGs like Final Fantasy is like you have these beautiful cutscenes, and the game is advertised in like magazines with images from the cutscenes. But then you spend most of the game on the battle screen. It looks nothing like the cutscene and nothing like what was advertised.
Good old block world. It's kind of like how what we were talking about last week with TL. He was talking about Chrono Trigger. I'm like, if that game had been made a couple years later, it would have been on the PlayStation, and it would need to be updated because it would look like shit now. Like,
Yeah. But this game, it's got the like really nice big GBA sprites in both the overworld and the battle. So there's some really vibrant colors. And John, go ahead.
I was going to say, actually, I was going to speak for Jesse. Jesse has had a number of RPGs ruined for him by the battle screen because he doesn't like first-person battles.
Yeah.
So, like, Jesse won't even try some classic, RPG shit just based on the presentation of the battle screen. So, like, you got to get that battle screen right, man. It's not just in terms of outdatedness; it's in terms of just presentation. And yeah, like
you spend so much time in a battle.
Exactly, that's the thing. Yeah, you spend so much time in those fucking things. Like, yeah, I love Earthbound just fine, but like after a while, you get tired of just looking at one sprite of a character that doesn't really move. Like, as charming as the game is, it needs a little something else.
Yep.
So a little tweak in that presentation. It gets a guy like Jesse back on the hook. That's all I was going to say. I remember, like, wait a minute. No, that's, Jesse said this 50 times over the course of this podcast.
I mean, he literally brought it up this episode when I mentioned Dragon Quest, and he went, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, I've been trying to give Dragon Quest 11 a shot, and I like the battle system. It's just the battle music is kind of underwhelming, and it's like
it is.
You're in you've been in battles like 50% of the game at least. So if you'd better be fun or sound good. So
I'm sorry.
Battle music
does Dragon Quest 11 only have one battle theme, like one common battle theme
that I've heard? And
there's one common battle theme and there's a boss battle theme, and the boss battle theme I am not a fan of because it goes like it tries to do something completely different, but not in like an epic way, in just hey, you would not expect to hear this as a boss music. It's like, yeah, there's a reason why.
Sugiyama, you stupid motherfucker.
Is it dubstep? Did they do dubstep for the boss music?
They got Skrillex.
That would be better.
No, Johnny, it's ska.
Oh, even better. God.
God, just imagine Sugiyama trying his hand at ska.
But Golden Sun has got awesome battle music.
Yes.
Courtesy classic composer Moto Sakuraba, because this is a Camelot game. So, of course, they got the Camelot composer to do it.
Good old Mosak.
Mosak back in the house, man. Oh, man. I didn't know this was a Mosak joint.
Yes.
I have no follow-up to that. That's it, baby. You gotta,
okay,
I thought GTT Gems to get that reference.
I thought you had more to that. Okay.
Get to the Gems recording sometimes, David. You'll fucking get these things.
Okay.
We call his name is Mosak now.
Dude, the last Gems recording was just John and I, and it got weird, man. Like, we really need you there.
Oh yeah, you're our anchor, David. Sadly, you are our anchor.
Yay. But no, Golden Sun, like I said, I'm sadly have not played the original, but it's a fun series, and I want to give it more of a shot.
Giving you really late,
Yes.
is it?
And I want to give it more of a shot. I need to track down the original.
I think you do, because it's it seems like a beloved series. It seems like the kind of thing that it's got a lot of fans, and maybe it's
Fan
just
favorite.
by virtue of it being a vaguely Nintendo first-party series. Like, do games made by Camelot and published by Nintendo, do you count these as Nintendo series? I guess people do.
Considering the other ones are like Mario Tennis and Mario Golf, yeah, I'm gonna say that they are.
Right. See, now that would really put some people on the hook. Like, they just announced that new Mario Golf game. They should put some Golden Sun characters in that to, really test the waters and see if people are up for a new Golden Sun. What would you think about that, David?
Oh.
Or maybe do the reverse. Hashtag
Just make a new Golden Sun.
Hashtag Waluigi for Golden Sun.
Ooh, that's good too.
Waluigi for Golden Sun. There you go.
So, I mean, like, that's the thing I just, like, I don't understand because I haven't played these games. But, like, these games, it's one of those series where it's got, like, this great reputation. And when you get down, like, right down to it, it's only got, like, 3 games. Like, it's not that prolific of a series. So, like, David,
Chrono Trigger only has 2 games.
See, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, where does this rank, David, on your Mount Rushmore of Nintendo franchises of the last 20 years? Give me your 2000s Nintendo Mount Rushmore.
Are we including 2000 to the present day, or just like?
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, one of the faces has to be an Inkling.
Let's save it, all right.
Well, I also Splatoon.
I asked you, motherfucker.
Anyhow,
it's fine.
Yeah, we all get our own Mount Rushmore.
Everybody gets a Mount Rushmore.
You get a Mount Rushmore.
There's an Inkling. There's a me. Because like Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resorts, like those were huge games for Nintendo.
Valid, baby.
Fuck it, yeah, I'll put Isaac from Golden Sun up there.
Okay.
I think Golden Sun deserves a spot. And for the last one, let's go with Olimar from Pikmin.
Okay, yeah. See, that was kind of where I thought that was going. I was waiting to hear Pikmin. Jesse or Johnny, you got a different last 20 years of Nintendo Mount Rushmore?
Last 20 years of Nintendo Mount Rushmore. So that's from, let's see, it's 2021 now. So from
the release of Golden Sun forward.
So the problem is from 2001 on is a real blind spot for me.
I know. That's why this is just going to remain a pristine natural mountain, John.
I just have this slight blind spot of 2 decades.
Was Sonic in any Nintendo games in the last 20 years?
Yes.
That's it. Johnny's Nintendo Mount Rushmore is just all 4 Sonic and Mario at the Olympics games.
Oh, yeah.
No, my Nintendo.
You laugh, but that's what it is.
It's just Sonic 4 times is what it is.
It's Sonic Mania. It's all the characters you can play in Sonic Mania.
No, just 4 Sonic the Hedgehogs. No other characters.
So it's Johnny,
I don't know. I kind of
disrespecting fucking Ray the Flying Squirrel like that.
Yes.
I kind of like, this is my Nintendo Mount Rushmore. Here's Mighty the Armadillo.
Yeah, he's not on it. Jesse, thoughts?
I guess probably Link. Wind Waker and
Toon Link.
There's a bunch of good Zeldas that came out in the 20 years. Luigi, because like that's when like the Luigi's Mansion games started coming out, and those are really fucking good. Luigi got it. The fucking year of Luigi happened, so that's one of them. Fuck. Oh man, the Master Hand from Smash Bros. Because fucking Smash Bros. Is fucking life.
I mean, but he started in '99, man. I don't know. Does that count?
Yeah, but he didn't get good until Brawl
Yeah.
or Melee. Sorry, Melee. I
So-
forget
Whoa.
that's the
Yeah,
ultimate.
Johnny, what do you know of Brawl? Oh, sir.
And fuck. I mean, I also feel like Luigi represents the Mushroom Kingdom, so I don't want to pick Mario because even though maybe fuck. Either Fire Emblem character because that got real popular these last 20 years, or a Metroid because Metroid Prime got real big in those
Oh, yeah,
years.
Metroid's been huge in the 2000s.
So, well, just when Metroid Prime and stuff came out, it was real big.
Yeah, true.
Just for that
man.
brief, and people are all still clamoring for it. Every time there's a thing, people are being like, "Oh, maybe they'll announce Metroid 4." No,
Keep on waiting, baby.
so
Okay,
people
so no,
still want it.
I'll do my quick last 20 years of Nintendo Mount Rushmore. It's fuck me. It is, a Mii was a great choice, David. I fucking love the Wii games. Mii's a good choice. Fucking Paper Mario.
That's good.
Motherfucking man, do I put a Xeno character on there? Like Shulk? Because now there's been 3 Xenoblade great. I'll fuck it. I'll throw Shulk on there. And
Yeah, that's good.
fucking I feel like I'm missing a big one. A villager from Animal Crossing.
Oh
Boom.
yeah, that's good.
Oh fuck yeah!
Woo! Got the big ones.
That's a good one.
Anyway, Golden Sun's cool, man. Honestly, I'd love to see it make a comeback, but it's been a minute since they've had an entry. So, like, when are we getting a new one, David? Have you been working on this?
Working on like programming it, or working
Yes.
on my angry letter campaign?
Both.
Yeah. And so this is what I have so far. You can finish it.
Okay, this is what I have so far.
It's just a
Dear
drawing.
Nintendo,
You
and
said
I kind of lost it after that.
sent Shiggy a Xerox of a very big hand.
Yeah, well, we need more of this.
Yeah. Huh? Huh?
You know what I'm talking about.
Just makes a flip
This
book
guy
and doing
knows.
this motion. and, then, and then at the end it just says Golden Sun and Smash, or just make a new game at some point. For the love of God, just anything.
Anything.
And while we're on the subject, why is the DS entry called Dark Dawn and not something with the initials DS? P.S.
right?
I am not a crackpot. Ugh. Should have been Golden Sun Dark Shiggy.
Dark Shiggy.
I like the idea that Shiggy just has like separate file cabinets in his office. Like one is
All them crackpot letters.
one is overflowing with letters demanding a new F-Zero, and then there's the Golden Sun cabinet that's just empty.
Waiting for that letter. He's got it, he's got it on his Mount Rushmore of file cabinets of angry letters, despite it not getting a single angry letter just yet.
It's coming.
It is. Much like the Game 4 sound, it's coming.
Oh shit.
Game
There it goes.
4.
Oh, there it is.
right, guys. So this game's director was given a budget of about $200 to market this game. He spent roughly half of that on a wrestling mask and set up signing events around Japan, rewarding fans who managed to visit all 4 of his locations that he set up. All right, guys. Who's got some answers? Okay, so John says, what a game, which is incorrect. Jesse says, Virtual Quest, which is incorrect. Dave says, Space Harrier Quest, which is on the right track, but still incorrect. This is Sega Gaga. This is
I am
Sega.
so glad this is not Sonic Chronicles.
This is Sega Gaga, a game for the Dreamcast that came out about 2 months after the Dreamcast was and died. After Sega announced that they're no longer making it. It's a role-playing.
What?
It's a role-playing game where you're working at Sega trying to save the company, and it's filled with all kinds of Sega characters from across different games. Sonic shows up, Rystar, Alex Kidd, Sir Pepper the Third from Clockwork Knight, the Bad Brothers from Golden Axe, the fish from Sega Bass Fishing, and it's just, this game is insane. So you go around battling like other developers and basically forming development teams, and you battle them by not attacking them with your fists but attacking them with words. Like you hurl insults at them about how the game's never going to ship and is never going to sell. And,
What?
and you defeat their health power, it's willpower, until they then and then you go to a little mini game where they try to apply for a job under you. You wind up fighting like 5 or 6 different Mecha Ralph Macchios. It gets very weird. Like
Okay, that sounds awesome.
What? What?
This is before Cobra Kai.
And the final boss fight is like a Thunder Force style shmup, where the final boss is different Sega consoles. So it starts with like the SG-1000 that turns into the Master System. Then that turns into
the fight of ages.
Yeah, it turns into a Genesis 32X CD combo. Then finally the Saturn. And like when you're fighting like the Genesis, not only is it shooting bullets, it's shooting enemies from Golden Axe at you. Like it just
Oh
gets
god.
crazy. This
Now, does
game.
it have like all 3 versions of the Genesis?
No, it's just this Model 1 with the
Oh, okay.
Model 1 CD and the 32X. It doesn't have the Model 2 or Model 3 Genesis.
What about Game Gear? Does that show up with a
I
Nomad?
don't know. I think it was just the
The Game Gear's your Paimon.
Oh man.
Game Gear thinks this company's going out of business.
Except it only gets about halfway through the sentence and then
My
the batteries
batteries are
die.
dying.
And yeah, I
Oh,
love
no.
the ending sequence is you get into a R270 Starship, which is modeled after the R630 arcade cabinet, and you team up with like Sonic and Alex and a Bass from Sega Bass Fishing. He joins you all the way to space.
Yeah, that sound. I'm not gonna lie. This sounds so insanely crossovery ridiculous that I want to play this.
It's
Is
got
Segata Sanshiro in it?
no, they did not work that one out. So during development, at some point they had like 300 different copyright conflicts they had to deal with, and
And
they
that's the one that got away.
and they managed to get 100 of them figured out. They just had to ditch a lot of it.
So they couldn't get the licensing for Segata Sanshiro, but they got the licensing for the likeness of Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
He was
Mecha
cheap
Ralph
at the
Macchio.
time.
Very famous Sega character, Ralph Macchio.
It's got some gorgeous cutscenes by Toei Animation.
What?
So
No, that's an authentic. What?
Yeah, this the director said he was given a small budget for the game and that it was less than 100th of Shenmue's budget. And Toei Animation
Wow.
gave them a discount.
I'm just gonna say it. Ouch for Shenmue.
So this game ever come out in the United States?
That's a very good question.
It didn't.
The answer is no, it did not.
Game over!
That's nice, John. It's nice for you to play that. Not for yourself, but for the second Dreamcast.
Oh,
Celebrating 30 or 20 years since the demise of the Dreamcast.
God.
Jesus Christ, John. What are we talking about right now?
This
What
game is
the fuck?
insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at the Wikipedia page about it. Like, it was so the director was developing it secretly. Like, this was just his like
don't
anger.
say.
This was like his anger project at Sega. Like, he's just sitting there, like, after the fucking, like Genesis 32X CD Saturn debacle. He's like, this fucking company. I'm gonna make a game that shows them what the fuck I think about their stupid ass extra console practices. And then he fucking, for some reason, decided to try and release it. It's like writing it. You're not supposed to hit send on that email. Like, you
worked on it
don't
for, like-
send that letter.
He worked on it for like 2 years, and the higher ups of Sega thought it was just some kind of joke and dismissed it.
Yeah.
Well, joke's on them.
This is the kind of insane shit where you like hear about it, where like some guy goes off the deep end and develops a game where like you kill all women, and then like it's like, okay, yeah, this is just some insane crackpot, but he happened to be like a high profile director for Sega, who's like, actually what this is a fucking like insane Sega RPG about the demise of the company, and then Sega said, okay, like,
Let's do it.
yeah, like, what? No,
It's like some kind of weird love letter / send up or what's the term I'm looking for, like punch up of the gaming industry as a whole, because it's got a bunch of like game parodies throughout it. Like, it's got a game in here called Final Pharmacy 7.
Oh, in your face, Final Fantasy.
Mortal Wombat. I'm just looking at some of these like cover arts of like game parodies they put in this. It's just
All right, I'm mad about
ridiculous.
Mortal Wombat. We all made that joke, but it wasn't funny because
But-
wombats are humorous, but they aren't particularly deadly, and it's the only thing that rhymes with combat, and it's lazy, John. It's lazy.
Okay, but did you ever make a Ace Wombat 2 joke? Because they have that as well. They have double
Okay.
wombats.
That's pretty good.
See, now we're talking. If Mortal Wombat hack, fucking Ace Wombat. Now we're talking.
Flying wombats.
Jumping straight to Galaxy Brain. Oh, Jesus. John, what?
I just have to send you this. I'm looking at a screen of the Sega Saturn battle, and it's just like a Sega Saturn taking up the entire screen and filling it with bullets. Like, it's amazing. I wish they could translate this game and release it in the US because it looks awesome.
There's no fan.
No, the fans have been trying to
translation?
figure it out for a long time, but I think there's a lot of like otaku things that just don't really you can't really translate.
I'm still stuck on why is Ralph Macchio in this game?
Yeah.
Like, did Sega make a Karate Kid game? So in
wish.
Japan, his likeness is there. Like, of all the people, why?
And also, I mean, we're talking anime Ralph Macchio with drill hands. It's not even just Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, I honestly, once I saw that, I stopped asking questions and just got on board. Like, I'm all in.
Just took it out and started whacking, man. Oh,
I mean,
God.
I will give credit. Like, if you were gonna do a crazy crossover game, sure, get characters from the mascot platformers and the beat 'em ups and the other RPGs and shmups. The fact that they got the bass from Sega Bass Fishing, that's commitment. That is commitment. Good on you.
Because the cutscene is great. You have all these characters kind of flying in and doing their little pose. And one of them's a fish. And he's just a fish.
Oh, too bad it's not the Seaman fish.
Oh, man. Where is Seaman Fish in this? What the fuck?
I don't think he's in this, which is disappointing. Maybe he is.
Maybe they just couldn't afford Leonard Nimoy.
So
is this game why there's no Sega Smash Bros? Like, we've joked about that in the past because Sony made theirs and Sega's made so many Mario Kart and other kind of crossover type games. Is this what stopped Sega from doing their own Smash Brothers? Did they think okay, no, they're gonna laugh at us because they're gonna remember Sega
Or they're just why don't we make a fighting game? No, we peaked with Sega Gaga.
Yeah.
We're never gonna top that.
And okay, so honestly, is this game pronounced Sega Gaga or Sega Gaga? Where's the emphasis here?
So it's
John?
spelled all one word, but I've heard it pronounced
One word,
but
Sega Gaga.
I've heard it pronounced
there's an echo in here.
Sega Gaga. I've heard it pronounced as Sega Gaga. That's what I
Sega
heard.
Gaga.
Because I think the idea was supposed to be you're going Gaga for Sega, right?
I thought it was the Queen song.
Ooh.
That's the joke I was making in the chat earlier. It's not Sega Goo Goo, it's Sega Gaga. They had the time, they had the power, they've yet to have their finest hour, and then the Dreamcast fucking died, and we never got Sega Gaga.
I love that
God.
the director got a $200 marketing budget. He spent $100 of it on a wrestling mask.
It
We
must
need
have
to
been
get that guy on the show, quite
like
frankly.
a
We need this guy.
match-worn tiger mask or something.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm sure in Japan they just sell those in vending machines. God damn. This Johnny, this is insane. And in what way is it a role-playing game?
Well, because it starts off with it might be more like simulation. It starts as role playing with sort of role playing battle style system and role playing overhead and overworld views and walking around and random encounters, things like that. And then it starts turning into more like a simulation game. So it kind of blends genres a little bit. Plus all the little mini games, like the shmup final boss mini game,
Right.
But no, so it has it has a story. The story is that Sega's, losing they only have 3% market share. They're losing to a company called Dogma. and they're hiring people, and you're one of the people that's been hired to try to revive the company. And you try to battle and gather a team of developers and directors, and you form little divisions within the company, and you can choose if you want to go for like just making artsy games or shovelware games or things like that. It's got some depth considering how insane this is. Then yeah,
Johnny, I'm going to be honest. I don't care. You were never supposed to get back on topic about the actual game. Like you got to be kidding me. This is insane, John. Like, it's maybe the most game that you've ever brought to the show. Not only because it never came out in America, because thank God they were smart enough to not bother, but like, no, truly, John, what? This isn't some fan game. This isn't some homebrew crazy shit. This was an official Sega game release at some point in some country. Yeah, like...
Yeah,
I feel like it's a toss-up between this and whatever that porn game was for most ridiculous shit you've ever pulled.
Yep.
This game is canon.
That's what I need to know. I need to know how much of this game is canon.
100%. All of it.
Oh, God. It just changed the whole Sega universe.
Oh, God damn. Why didn't you go last? How am I going to follow this?
You can't, David. You fucked up. So, to that end, Johnny, let's fucking get to that end.
Game 5.
I'm not gaga for this.
have to find my trivia. I was busy looking up Sega Gaga screenshots.
David, it's over. It's in the past. Let it go.
In one of the towns, there is an NPC who says, "I'm saving up to go on an adventure. I only have 1,000 gold right now, though maybe if I save up 10,000 gold, I can even join you." This is a reference to the crowdfunding campaign for the game, where a reward for pledging $10,000 was to have a character of your design be among the playable cast, whereas a $1,000 pledge would have a character be an NPC. Do want to give a shout out to the composer for this game, Hiroki Kikuta, who is famous for working on the Secret of Mana series.
Whoa! Now there's a detail that escaped me. Because based on what I know of recent Kikuta, this is very reserved. But anyway, yeah, sorry.
So Johnny says Mecha Ralph Macchio. Sadly incorrect. John and Jesse have the correct answer. This is Indivisible. So this game is really cool, and I really like it, but it's hard to talk about it without talking about like behind the scenes stuff, and I really don't want to do that. I just want to kind of focus on the game.
I don't know, David. I'd like to really, if I may, get inside baseball with it. Let's talk about nothing but behind the scenes stuff. We are an expert podcast. We're all about that context. I'd like to know all about the development of this game rather than the gameplay of this game. So frame this up for us nicely and tell us.
Oh, I thought when you said behind the scenes, I didn't realize you meant behind the scenes of this game. I thought you meant behind the scenes of this podcast. And I was really confused about what peek behind the curtain like there is about our show in regards to this game. Like,
Right.
peek behind the curtain, Johnny famously hates Indivisible.
Well, I mean, honestly, no. I'll give you a peek behind the curtain right now. Here's how I figured out this game. David mentioned in his trivia crowdfunding for this game. I Googled list of kickstarted RPGs. That's not a search result that you can get. So it came up with a Wikipedia page for, list of video game crowdfunding projects. And I scrolled down the list until I saw a name that I was familiar with that sounded like this game. So, David, no, I knew right off the bat that this was not the Wonderful 101 remastered, and I figured you didn't play the Banner Saga 3. And then I got to Indivisible, which took me back in Game That Tune time to a far off distant episode. Episode 42, David. Do you remember episode 42?
If I'm not mistaken, that's favorites.
I don't know.
Okay.
But what I remember is
42?
yeah, no, that's not what I remember about episode 42, David. Episode 42 was a famous episode. It was Jesse's abrupt disappearance from the podcast for a short time. And we had to scramble to replace him at the last minute. We replaced him with our good friend Pat Perkins. And hold on, let me just refresh myself.
We haven't used this, have we?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
Episode 42 was the all RPG episode of Game That Tune. And Pat Perkins brought to us a game called Valkyrie Profile.
Okay.
You got it
There's
wrong.
the connection.
And Pat gave you a little bit of shit. And he said that this is related to a game that should be up your alley called Indivisible. And at that time, Indivisible has not even been released. So clearly, you guys were following some Kickstarter that I wasn't aware of. But I internalized that. I thought, Indivisible. That's that. I don't know what that means, but I'm into it. And here we are, some 196 episodes later. It's finally paying off. You finally satisfied Pat's joke that you should have known Valkyrie Profile based on Indivisible.
John, do you listen to every episode of Game That Tune every week? Like, how do you remember this? I don't remember episode 238. And here you are, like...
We are on episode 238.
Yeah,
quoting
wow.
episode 42.
John
That's just one of those things that seriously, because it was like, Pat gave you some shit. And he was like, David, you should have known this because it's connected to a game that I think you're into, Indivisible. I'm like, that just internalized in my brain. And then when this came up and I was scrolling through that list of crowd-funded projects and I saw Indivisible, I'm like, sure, that's as good as a guess as any.
I don't know if I have the authority to do this, but John should get a bonus point just for that fucking Sherlock Holmesing. Like,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
Yay!
But
Christ.
yeah, this is Indivisible. It was a crowdfunded RPG. It's kind of a Metroidvania RPG, like the overworld you're exploring, similar to like a 2D platformer, but you level up, you fight enemies, you go to a separate battle screen. It's an RPG. And it has a really interesting combat system because it's made by the same team that made Skullgirls. So the combat system is kind of like a fighting game. Your party of 4 characters, every character is assigned one button. So you have somebody on A, somebody on B, Y, and X, or cross, circle, whatever. And you can it uses the active time battle, which I'm usually not a fan of. I prefer turn-based, but every character has their like their active meter, once you do stuff, it counts down until you can go again. So what you can do is you can sort of combo like a fighting game. So if one of your characters has an attack that will launch someone up, you can then use another character to jump up and attack. And then once they land, a third character come in and sweep them. So like you don't really have menus. Instead, every character has like button press, up, button press, and then down button press. So you have like 3 different attacks that you can do, or 3 different actions. Because sometimes you have a healer and you push like down A and you just heal your party. But you can combo everything all together when you're fighting your enemies. So it's a really unique battle system. And I think that's kind of what it gets from Valkyria Chronicles, where it's like an active time. Jesse is shaking his head. I'm very, very wrong. Valkyrie Profile.
Yeah. Oh, David, for shame. For shame.
I mean, I got the answer wrong in episode 42. I haven't learned my lesson.
Sure. Yeah. 196 episodes of shame. Yeah. Shame.
But
describing my backstory, did I say Valkyria Chronicles of Valkyrie Profile? I'm going to need to run it back. Okay, I did say the right game. Good. Whew. Whew. David, I'm better than you.
Wow.
I mean,
right there.
Yeah, that was established. Like, but the other thing that I really like about this game is the like cast of characters, because it's by the same people who do Skullgirls, so they're very good at world building and character designs, and you get like 30 fucking characters to choose from. Your party is 4, but there's just a shit ton of characters you can pick from, like nerdy plant girl who's actually a healer. There's a dog that you can recruit. There's like a lesbian pirate with like a cannon that she uses.
Okay.
Like,
slow it down, Dave. You're describing so many things that I'm into. I'm sorry. Nerdy plant?
Yeah, it's like this like nerdy girl, like super into horticulture, and like she wants to join you to go on an adventure and study all these different plants, and she kind of becomes your healer because she makes all these potions and everything. There's an option to recruit a dog, so like you literally just have this dog join your party.
Go back to Wargroove where we all fucking love the dog.
Can you pet the dog?
I don't know. I haven't gotten to the dog yet.
You better get to that dog, motherfucker, and you better.
There's like a water genie that you can recruit. Like the characters get fucking out there, and they're all awesome. Genie?
Can you pet the water genie?
Yeah,
probably.
So like, okay, real talk, David. In the 1992 Disney movie Aladdin, Genie's blue. What do you think Genie feels like? Do you think he feels like smoke or like water? Like, what's the consistency of Genie?
Does he feel like smoke?
I feel like he takes like a physical form that you can touch and like interact with, but I feel he probably feels like smoke because he always has that smoke bottom.
Right. Yeah, the smoke bottom is kind of the giveaway, but like I feel like his body, it's like, it's like water that is formed into like a kind of buff guy. Like, I don't know. Maybe he's vape. Is the genie from Aladdin vape juice?
Probably.
Okay.
Does he feel like smoke?
Shut up, John. Let's keep talking about Indivisible. Wait. Okay. So yeah, I'm sorry. Pirate lesbian.
Yeah. There's you recruit this like boisterous pirate queen who apparently like hooks up with one of the other characters, also a woman.
Totally into that. Every fucking word of that I'm into.
And it does a
pirate
really
queen boisterous. Woo.
It does an interesting thing where the main character is this girl named Ajna who has like a magical ability. She has like a whole like chakram dimension in her head. So it explains away you're just the one girl running around exploring the world. But when you get into a battle, you have your party with you. And normally games are like, oh yeah, whatever. It's just graphics. We couldn't animate like 30 people following behind you or whatever. But this game, like, as soon as she meets somebody, their spirit kind of enters her mind. And then that's when they come out of her mind to form her party. So it gives a story explanation for why there's only one character on the overworld, which is not necessary, but I think it's kind of a cute detail.
Sure.
And I really love the soundtrack. I can't wait for this to get on GTT radio.
Yeah,
it has like
honestly, I mean, fucking, how did I not know that Kakuta was back and making a new soundtrack for something? Like, that would have flagged my fucking attention immediately. What the fuck, man?
Well, I mean, the game was in development for like 3 or 4 years. Like, it's
at
been a
least
long
as
time
long as
coming.
we've been making this podcast.
And the soundtrack has like a really nice world music vibe to it.
That's Kakuta, baby.
Because I feel like a lot of RPGs, and I don't think we necessarily covered it on this show, but a lot of them are very like grounded in like European mythology, the knight and the wizard, and like
They're
castles
trapped
and that
somewhere
kind of shit.
between Japanese anime and European, folksiness for sure.
Yeah, and this game, like, it pulls a lot of influence from like Cambodia and like Korea, and then there's a town, I haven't gotten to it yet, but apparently it's based on like a Mexican Mesoamerican temple. And it's like, I really like kind of the diverse world in this. Like, I really enjoy this game.
Ooh, you're speaking my language, especially as it relates to fucking Kakuta, baby. Like, fucking my favorite song from Secret of Mana is The Oracle, which is the second to last boss theme, which in researching The Oracle, it's the SNES version of Balinese gamelan music. Like, if Kakuta wants to do world music, fucking let him, baby. Like, I'm into it, man. That's I love it. Let the guy experiment as much as he wants, except as it relates to remaking the Secret of Mana soundtrack. Like,
Don't touch that shit.
Oh man, did he fuck that shit up? Like, you had 25 years to not fuck it up, and you took it and you fucked it up. So, like, yeah, just letting the guy make a new original soundtrack, I'm intrigued by. Letting him reimagine one of his old soundtracks, no, don't even touch it. Like, don't come anywhere near it. But like this, whatever this is, I'm gonna listen to this. This sounds fucking great.
It is. It's so good. Yeah. That's the whole reason. The whole reason I did this theme is because I wanted to talk about this game, and I have classically not been super into RPGs, but lately, the last year or so, I've been getting into them, and I've been enjoying them, and I kind of want to play more. The only thing that I don't like about it is that they're usually really big time commitments. But
yes, that is, them. As an adult, the number one problem with RPGs. Like, man, they just don't make them like Final Fantasy Mystic Quest anymore. These fucking games are so long and such an investment that they're daunting, quite frankly. But honestly, if you find one and it grabs you, have at it, baby. Like I find so many times, like, I start playing a game and I get into it and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I have the time for this. But then like on nights of just hanging out, watching TV, editing a podcast, I'll stop watching TV and I'll play some Smash Brothers or something. And it's like, wait a minute, that's 2-3 hours I could have put into that RPG. I could have gained some levels. I could have fucking made some progress. Like, the gaming balancing act is tricky. And, much like in my game, when I was talking about changing my thinking about spending money on microtransactions, you got to change your thinking about like the time you're willing to put into a game. Like 2 to 3 hours in an RPG might not seem like a lot, but when you're grinding a little bit and you're able to beat that next boss and advance to the next area, it was worth it. What would you rather do? do a little grind in a fun RPG and beat a boss and move on to the next area, or play some online Smash Bros and make zero progress.
I mean, when you put it like that.
Because that's pretty much the struggle I'm up against every fucking night. Like, I love playing Smash Brothers, but like, should I play something else? Yes, I should. Like, did I do anything tonight? Yeah, I lost 2 matches, and Ganondorf is no longer in Elite Smash. I fucked up. I should have just played the RPG. That's my takeaway from most of my nights of playing games. Like, I should have just played the RPG. That's my point. That's my point for the night. You should have just played the RPG.
Well, and that was one of the other things that got me interested in Indivisible, because as I was reading about it, it's like 20 to 30 hours, which for an RPG is not long
that
at
ain't
all.
Shit, baby, are you kidding me?
Because I mean, I'm playing Dragon Quest XI. I'm like 50 hours in, and I'm in Act 2, like the beginning.
Yeah. I put 50 hours into Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I fucking had wasted a month of my life. Like, and like I had to stay up late to find the time to do it. You cut that in half, that shit is easy breezy, baby. Are you kidding? 20 to 30 hour RPG? Maybe they do make them like Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Is this the modern Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, David?
No.
I don't know much about Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, so yes.
Final Fantasy Mystic Quest is baby's first RPG with a fucking dope-ass soundtrack for the SNES.
Oh. No, this is not baby's first RPG.
No, you will get your fucking face wrecked.
Okay,
this is
fine.
Very intricate combo system.
Still worth asking. I got to find where it fits on the RPG spectrum. But in terms of dope-ass soundtrack, it's right in there?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, good. Very good. David, I love it. I honestly, like, I wasn't interested terribly in playing this game, but 20 to 30 hour playtime and Kakuta soundtrack, like, David, you might have just sold me on this.
Well, I'm happy to.
Good. Very good. Thank you. You should get a commission on stuff like this. Have you talked to the developers and thought about maybe could GTT get some points on the back end on this thing?
Probably not.
That's not part of the crowdfunding thing. We man, like, God, they were still funding this when Pat brought it up on the show years ago. We should have contacted them for some points on the back end. This could have been an Indivisible podcast that just happened to talk about other games every night.
For like 3 years, we could have been like, we're the Indivisible podcast. Here's updates. No news now. All right, so we're going to go to this other section.
Yep. TBA. In the meantime, here's an episode about something completely different.
In the meantime, let's play something called Game That Tune.
God, TBA, GTT TBA, sponsored by the Kickstarter Indivisible. That would have been a good idea 4.5 years ago. But David, this is a delight, man. I think I kind of want to get into this game now because it looks great, it sounds great, and it's got a like a terminable time. So like I think you might just like pitched me an RPG that's right up my alley, man. I thank you for that.
Like I said, I recommend it. I've been playing it. It's a lot of fun.
And as someone who's played RPGs for the last 1.5 years of his life, David's RPG recommendations, they hold water, baby. Like,
yeah,
he's brand new to this thing. He's not going to recommend bad RPGs.
I have over 9 months of experience. I'm an expert.
Yeah. Fantastic. I love it. David, anything else before we send it over to the old calculating computer?
I don't believe so, no.
I'm too drunk to say calculating computer.
Calculating computer activated. Computers. Beeps. Boops.
Damn it, John.
Scoring complete. This game's winner is... John Harrington.
Unnecessary. I am
Honestly, so goddamn impressed.
because of that episode where Pat brought up Indivisible. And Jesus Christ, that was episode 42. This is going to sound insane when I say it, but yes, David, I know this is Indivisible. It's just part of my Game That Tune brain. It's something delightful. So anyway, goddamn, what a show. What a time it's been. What a time it's going to be on next week's episode. Because guess what? I got a fantastic theme in mind for next week's episode. David, let's talk about this week's theme. What was this week's theme?
RPGs.
RPGs. And what is it exactly that RPG stands for?
In tonight's context, role-playing
not
games.
tonight's context.
Okay, role-playing games.
Give me another one. Jesse, give me another RPG. What does it stand for?
Really pretty girls.
That's a good theme too. Johnny, though, I'm gonna need you, man. You're gonna have to give me what does RPG stand for?
Rocket propelled grenades.
That's right, Johnny. It stands for rocket propelled grenade. We've been making this joke for a couple of weeks now. Johnny, you've got it, man. You asked for it. This is the theme for next week's episode. No, it's not rocket propelled grenades because that's way too fucking specific. No, next week I want games with rockets.
Ooh.
I'm into it.
Yep, it doesn't matter what they're propelling. It could be a grenade. It could be anything else.
Could it be
momentum to say, yes, Jesse, it could be a red rocket.
I was going to say, go back, watch this episode, and see, you can pinpoint the moment where he realizes what's been said.
What he's about to commit to. Like, that's what you have to work with. Take that as you will. It's gonna be a good one. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's dare I say it, going to be
a blast.
Oh, thanks, Jesse. It's gonna be a blast. Yeah. See, Johnny, I feel like the Tim Allen grunt might have been more appropriate because it would be about more power, but Pepsi Man is fine. You're right. It's going to be a blast. So,
a blast of fresh Pepsi. They're squishing Pepsi.
You're right. It's next week's episode is going to be invigorating, like a blast of fresh Pepsi. So, yeah,
Fresh.
That's fresh.
I just squeezed it.
We need to talk for several minutes about what constitutes fresh Pepsi. Johnny, describe to us your perfect fresh Pepsi.
I'll tell you what fresh Pepsi is. It's the title of this week's episode. That's what fresh Pepsi is.
A blast of fresh Pepsi. Not next week's episode in which we're talking about rockets. That's the title for this week's episode, which we talked about RPGs. Man, what an episode it's been. What a blast of fresh Pepsi it's been. What a blast of fresh Pepsi it's been. God. Guys,
Words.
I love you. Words are tough. Especially when, oh man, been a minute since I've drank this much whiskey, but it's been a pleasure. It's been a fantastic episode. It's been a great show, and we thank you guys for listening. Thanks to everybody watching live with us. We're live every Wednesday night. We're on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Search for Game That Tune. Thanks to everybody checking us out in podcast form. We're at Game That Tune or at anywhere else you get your podcast. Check us out. Rate, review, subscribe, all that shit. Thanks to everybody checking out patreon.com/GameThatTune. Let me tell you, man, patreon.com/GameThatTune. We got some fun exclusives going over there. We got GTT Gems. Every now and then we make a mixtape. We do a covered up. But, that stuff, not to say it's fallen by the wayside, but we also do some movie commentaries. That's the star of the show. You want to join us for our Patreon movie commentaries. We give you guys access to the movie, and we hang out, we talk, we riff. We have a lot of fun watching movies and just riffing. So join us there at Patreon. We love you guys for supporting the show. Keeps the lights on over there at our 24/7 music stream at twitch.tv/GTT radio. So we super appreciate you guys being patrons. Special thanks to our Patreon absurd fans. Here we go. The list keeps getting longer. Alex Messenger, Lance Revere, Damian Beckles, Bradford Stevens, Daniel Perky, Taylor Weiss, Sam L, Mork, Tasty, Gremory, and Phoenix Tier 2121. What a fantastic list of people that we have supporting us over there at Patreon and all the rest. We got a fantastic request tonight. David, who did we get that request from?
The request came from Silver Nova in our Discord.
Mm-hmm. And we appreciate you guys making your requests in our Discord server. That's the best way to make requests, but you can also email us gamethattune@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on Twitter at gamethattune, or you can find us individually on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at jgangsta187. You can find David Fleming on Twitter at
DFD Fleming.
You can find Jesse Moore on Twitter at
Sega_legend.
And you can find John Regan on Twitter at
JP Regan Jr.
Hell yeah, fellas. So it's time. It's time for bonus tunes. Let's talk about rockets. I want to talk about rocket propelled grenades. A game that we've all played featuring those rocket propelled grenades, which does not necessarily mean it's going to be on next week's episode, because we've used it on many past episodes of Game That Tune. But guys, we got 4 players here. Let's set the settings to rockets. Select your character, and then we're going to go to the control, and we're going to play a little GoldenEye 007. So Johnny, who's your character? Who's your 007 multiplayer pick? Go.
Odd Job.
David.
Dr. Doak.
Jesse.
Jaws.
And I will be James Bond. Fuck you, Johnny, for picking Odd Job. I'm going to blow you up with a rocket. This is Control from GoldenEye 007 on the N64. We love you, everybody. Peace out. Still, fuck you, Johnny, for picking Odd Job. Final Fantasy 12 is copyright 2006 Square Enix. Genshin Impact is copyright 2020 MiHoYo. Golden Sun is copyright 2000 Sun. Camelot 2000 Sun. Golden Sun is copyright 2001 Camelot Software Planning and Nintendo of America Incorporated. Segagaga is copyright 2001 Games Company Limited. Indivisible is copyright 2019 Lab Zero Games and 505 Games.